I've always loved tourism, and I was a governor of West Virginia for 8 years, and that was sort of the most exciting, because a lot of people would say, no, we don't want to come do business there back then. It's different now. But it's partly different because of tourism. Because for some reason we got a lot of Japanese tourists, and we had a lot of people from overseas. And West Virginia is not far from Washington, so they would wander in. They kind of like what they see, and it's paid off in different ways. But when you think about it, that if this is really true, Madam Chair, that 1 out of every 9 Americans is employed one way or another, I mean, it's just absolutely extraordinary. Makes healthcare look trivial. I take that back. Healthcare is not. But I mean, 44,000 jobs in our state depend upon tourism. It brings in over $4 billion a year. That's huge for us. And what I like about it the most is that people, I think, discover more who you are and what you're like as a people through tourism when they don't come with a specific purpose, but they're traveling. And what we find in West Virginia is that a lot of, let's say, people from Canada or people from other places, they'll come and they'll keep coming. They'll come to the same state park. And then we want to say, well, why are you coming to the same state park? But of course, you don't say that because you're glad they're there. But it's sort of the habit. And I think it's the warmth of the reception they get. And that's not something which is automatic. I mean, folks like yourself, I mean, you have to work at this very, very hard. People have to get accustomed to it. People who are starting up restaurants have to know how to work with people whose language they don't speak, perhaps, and how they need to know things to put out the welcome mat and make people want to come back. I think it's about the healthiest thing that one can do in the whole business of job creation because it gives people enjoyment. And in our case, it led to an enormous number, in the case of Japan, of industries that just began to come over. And we have something like 22 or 23 industries from Japan in West Virginia. That may not be much in a big state like Minnesota, but it's humongous in a small state like West Virginia. And word travels. People find out what you're like. If they like it, that word travels, then it gets mixed up in the whole business of industrial development, which is important. So I'm always proud of you, Madam Chair, for what you do. And Minnesota just has a big, fat advantage in terms of beauty, 1,000 lakes. And no mosquitoes, that's what I'm told.
But we don't have Harper's Ferry. That's yours.
Anyway, that's my statement.